Yo! I don't know why I love doing that to start these videos. But, what's up? Here again for another video. This one is about Australia. Australia was phenomenal. At my school we had like a week break. It was called recess week. Meant to catch up on your studies / travel a little bit, I think. But we took it all, the exchange students, as a travel opportunity. So I actually decided to branch off from traveling with a big group like I did in Thailand, and I decided to travel with one other buddy, Jeff O'Hearn, who's a friend of mine from Canada, and we met here in Singapore. Great, fun dude, and we had a great time on our trip. So we did Australia and New Zealand, so that'll be the next video, will be New Zealand. But I want to make it clear that I cannot get all of the details, I cannot get all of the pictures in these videos. It's just like I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about it forever. So I will definitely love to sit down and share all the stories when I get back, but this is just a brief overview. So my trip started, of course, with me getting in the appropriate gear. That was all I took on the trip. Got my GoPro, ready to film away and have a good time. So at this point, I was like, couldn't believe that this was actually happening. I'm now in Australia, on truly the other side of the world. So I guess Singapore is on the other side of the world too, but I just was so far from home. So it was really, this sort of made it come alive and really become serious that I was in Sydney. So right away we land, we had an overnight flight, and we got the day started with, of course, what I was looking forward to probably the most was seeing the Sydney Opera House. And we took a boat ride right when we got to Sydney over to Manly, which was maybe a 25-minute, 30-minute boat ride. But actually I meant to mention at the airport, we met my friend Allie, who was studying abroad in the Gold Coast, which is like an hour flight north of Sydney. She flew down to Sydney for the weekend to hang with us, and then we would go up to the Gold Coast before going to New Zealand. So this is a picture of Allie and I in front of the on the ferry in front of the Sydney Opera House. We took the opera house over, or we took the boat over to Manly, like I was saying before, and we picked up our tickets for all these different attractions. One of which was it was like the Sea Life Aquarium or Sea Life Sanctuary, which was in Manly. Then we went to we saw some cool fish, and we went to this guy just like the one from Nemo. We then went to the aquarium. We took the ferry back from Manly, and we went to the aquarium there. Saw some, this was like you kept walking through like these tunnels, so you could just look above you and see everything. One time I looked up and saw this. Just couldn't believe it. Felt like I was in the tank also, but apparently it was safe and didn't have anything to worry about. But it was really cool. There was giant sharks and all different fish and big like whale type animals, and there were stingrays and all different things. So it was cool to kind of be so close to them and immersed almost in their culture and in like world and environment. The next attraction we went to was the zoo. The zoo. I had such a good time here, but it was really crazy. A long story to go with it, but apparently due to daylight savings times, the timer on the lights in the butterfly room got shut off, and me and Allie and Jeff had to like sprint through the butterfly room because there were cockroaches all over the floor. It was disgusting. It was awful. But we then got into the kangaroo area, so we got to see some kangaroos, and it was pretty cool. Not enough though, but the lights were off so at the whole place. So we, of course, then complained and whatever, got it all taken care of. We felt bad that we were even let in, but it was just disgusting that we had to. I mean, there were cockroaches everywhere. Like the whole floor was carpeted with cockroaches. It was disgusting. But I guess it was sort of worth it to see a kangaroo and this little cute guy, the koala bear. And I have a lot more pictures and videos and things like, or no, just pictures of, us all hanging out with the koalas. So that was pretty cool. Then we got dinner and went back home, changed and went out for the night, and we got to check out Club Ivy. It's one of the bigger clubs in Sydney. I was very lucky to be in Sydney on a Saturday night. It was a great time, so lots of fun there. Got to check out the nightlife. Ended the night with a nice margarita pizza and a fresh squeezed green apple juice drink. and that was delicious. We then went to bed, woke up the next day, and went to Bondi Beach, which is here. I have tons of pictures of Bondi. We went on a huge hike, and I'll show you a couple pictures here. This was a shot of Jeff and I. Like I said, pictures here aren't going to do justice, but it was phenomenal. The views were just breathtaking. Everyone was really laid back and just kind of there to enjoy it. It's entirely, I don't know, whatever I envisioned as a beach town, that's like what Bondi, the area of Bondi Beach was. Here are some more great views. The walk sort of was like a walk slash hike, so it got to take us to like spots like this. This was a picture of Allie on the edge of the cliff there, and I got to have the same pose. And Jeff did it also, but I'm not sure where his shot is. And at one point on the hike, we were walking, and thank goodness Allie saved us because we almost fell under this rock that was going to crash down and hurt us. I know I'm going to get ridiculed for that one. Anyway, then we finished the hike. I remember we had these awesome burgers, and I have to jump back. These burgers were so good. They were like honey barbecue. It was like sweet but delicious, definitely homemade. A burger that I haven't had in a very long time. Mom, you better make me burgers when I come home. My gosh, it's one food I can't get out. I mean, you can get them in Singapore. It's not like the burger I know. So anyway, so going to Sydney was great from a burger standpoint. So was New Zealand, which I'll tell you about later. This is a picture of Jeff, Allie, and I. We went to this 4D little theater before going up to the Sky Tower in Sydney. So that was a pretty cool experience also. Then we flew up to the Gold Coast, and we got to experience life sort of more as a local with Allie, as this was her apartment building. She was so willing and to have us stay there, so that was very nice of her, and she was a wonderful hostess. She actually has a surfboard, so Jeff and I were getting some shots, and we actually tested out surfing. So we had a good time there. Not the greatest surfer alive, but that's okay. It was just my first time. Jeff was a riot. So much laughing when Jeff was giving it a shot. That night for dinner, we decided to cook some kangaroo, which I was unaware of or wasn't expecting to do even. I had no idea, but it wasn't so bad. Cooked it up, had some barbecue sauce there, and had ourselves a nice dinner. Just picked that up in the supermarket. While we were in the supermarket, of course, I spotted my Philadelphia cream cheese and lox. It's an essential. Next day, we woke up and had a great breakfast. Allie was cooking eggs for us, which was great. And then we went to Surfer's Paradise. So these are just a couple pictures of what life at Surfer's Paradise is like. There's a lot of surf shops and the beach, like this picture. And there were places to get food and ice cream and shopping, and it was just everyone was really laid back and pretty chill. If you can't see at the top here, it says Surfer's Paradise. And then towards the end of the day, we were wrapping things up, and we were getting ready to head on out to New Zealand, but we had a couple more hours, so we kept touring. I think we ended off the day with some frozen yogurt. And then that was really it. That kind of closed off our time in Australia. We were there for only a little bit, but I have lots more stories to share, but we definitely made it a very busy time when we were there. We saw lots of things that we wanted to do. We got to explore and walk around the city, and we got to see the Gold Coast, which was really cool. And between Sydney and the Gold Coast, I'm definitely coming back to Australia as soon as possible. Brett, man, you're going to Australia, and I might need to make my way out to visit. Talk to you soon, everybody. Much love. Miss you guys.